Take a look at slide 1. Today, we're going to take a look at the very first step of cellular respiration. And in order for you people to prove to me that you are going to be with me, you are going to be listening, you are going to be on task, I need you right now to sign your soul over to me on this screen. And I want you to sign your first and last name. Okay, let's do it. Sign it. You just signed a contract that you're going to be with me and you're going to do everything I'm about to do. And if you break that contract, I can sue you. Okay? Do you have a lot of money, Taylor? No. Oh, she said no. Okay. Jordan, you seem rich. Yeah? Yeah, I knew it. All right, everybody go to the bottom of this slide. Hey, this is exactly what we just did for our warm-up today. We talked about cellular respiration's equation, meaning what goes in, what comes out. We know that you eat sugar, you breathe in oxygen, and 3 products are going to be made. Carbon dioxide, God bless you, honey, water, and as Celine and Alexia told us, energy, specifically in the form of ATP. So what we're going to really examine today, everybody do me a favor and go to slide 2. Is we are going to look at the steps. Now, we're really only going to focus on the first one because each of them can be kind of complicated. So we're going to simplify as much as we can, but we're going to look at it step by step. So everybody look at slide 2. The 3 steps of cellular respiration, underline for me the first one. Who wants to try to say that G word? Go for it, Michael. Honey, that was really close. Glycolysis is step 1. That's going to be in the cytoplasm of your cell, the jelly fluid. It's not yet in our special organelle. Everybody, in a different color, if you go to the pen, you can just pick a different color. Underline step 2. We're not doing that today. Max, how do you think you say step 2? Wow, that was perfect. Citric acid cycle. That's the second step of cellular respiration. And that's actually in this little jelly bean shaped organelle. Hey, Kennedy, if you were going to tell me what is the name of this organelle right here that's the powerhouse of the cell, what would you say? That's the mitochondria. And that's where the most of cellular respiration is going to take place. Now, the last one, oh my Lanta, everybody in a different color, underline step 3. ETC stands for something. I'll tell you what it stands for another day. And then, do you even want to try with that OP? Oxidative, really good. How about the second one? I'm not going to lie, that was really good. Phosphorylation is what we call step 3. And if your mind is blown right now, don't worry about it. Okay, I promise we're going to figure it out, and it's really not that crazy. So we're going to look at 3 steps, but today we're going to focus on the very first one, which is the only one that's not in the mitochondria. Everybody go to slide 3. On slide 3, I have the 3 steps you just saw, the ETC, the citric acid cycle, also called the Krebs cycle, and that G1, glycolysis. Can I ask you, use your little mouse. We're going to move those sticky notes. Can I ask you, Sam, which one, and then you can go back, which one is first? Of the 3 that are on these sticky notes, which one was first on my list? Everybody move that G1 she just said, glycolysis. That's what we're going to look at today. What is that? What does that mean? What does that happen? Why is it first? Do you remember what was second, Joey? Was it the citric acid one or the ETC one? Everybody move that second guy to the second spot. This is the second step of cellular respiration. It is in the mitochondria, and it's not what we're looking at today. Okay, well, we only have 1 step left. It's the ETC one that I didn't tell you what that stands for yet. But you can make some educated guesses. Do you remember some bio words that start with E? Honey, look at you saying that. It's not ecology, but that was a great guess. Okay, everybody go to slide 4. So Sam told me glycolysis was the first step of cellular respiration. What we're looking at is what's happening, what's going in, what is coming out. Why is this first? So if you guys look at the word glycolysis, we can kind of split it into 2 things. Everybody use your pen, your marker, whatever you want on the left side. I've seen this ending before, lysis. Underline it. Didn't we learn a word that ends in lysis? Something lysis. It was the opposite of dehydration synthesis. Oh, you're good. Hydrolysis. And if you remember what hydrolysis means, it means we add water to do what? Break it. Everybody right now, I don't care if you type it or write it, but I want you to tell me that this ending means to split or break. So when I look at the word glycolysis, the ending is the same as lysis, right? Hydrolysis, we're adding water to split. Glycolysis, we're going to split something. But let's look at the beginning. Maybe that'll help us figure out what we're splitting. In a different color, and a different type of underline, I want you to highlight the glyco part. That looks kind of familiar. What's something we mentioned today for our warm-up that kind of looks like this prefix here, this beginning? What goes into your body for cellular respiration that kind of looks like glyco? Alexia? Very good. So we're going to be doing something to glucose. So everybody right now do the same thing. Give me a little arrow or something. Write it, type it, I don't care. But I'm going to write what she just said. Glucose. What's glucose? When it ends in "-ose", what do I know that it is? It's sugar. So I am going to literally split sugar. Okay, so in this process, we're going to split sugar. Cool, that seems super exciting. But why? What's the point? What does it do? And why are we doing that? So real quick, keep that slide up. Let me show you what this looks like if you were going to listen to this super boring man go through glycolysis. This is kind of what's happening. I'm not going to make you listen to him. Hold on.
From the oxidation of nutrients, such as
here's glucose. It is a 6-carbon molecule, meaning there's 6 carbons in it. We made it in class. We made a little model with 6 of those little black pieces that were our carbons. And if you do glycolysis, blah, 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 you are going to split that apart. Now, the first thing you can see here is you're going to use a little bit of energy, a little bit of ATP. And we're going to take that 6-carbon glucose and do some things to it. All right, you can see there's 2 3s that have been split apart. There's some NADH. We'll look at what that is in a second. Oh, look, there's some ATP. And now look at the bottom. When I look down here at like the products, the things that are coming out, I see 3 carbon, and then look at that P word. How do you think you say that P word? Go for it, Celine. How do you think you say that P word at the bottom of the screen? See it? Sorry, my player is in front of it. Do you see that down there? How do you think you say that? Honey, that was close. Pyruvate, okay? If you're like, Miss Colt, there's so many words up there, I don't even know what you're saying right now. That's okay. Look at me. Here's the big picture. I took a 6-carbon glucose and I split it into 2 3-carbon molecules. Okay? Hey, you ready for this math, Jordan? What's 3 plus 3? God, she's so smart. Okay, what we just did is take a 6-carbon sugar and split it into 2 3-carbon molecules. And in the process, we make a couple of things. So let's look at those things now that we're making by going to slide 5. Everybody go to slide 5. Darling angels, you told me for our warm-up, we have to eat sugar. We eat it, we put it in our body, that's glucose. So you guys can see right here, and I want you to circle this for me. You can see the 6 carbons that were just in that video I showed you. Glucose has 6 carbons. That goes into our body. We eat it. We eat the sugar. It's in our cells. And then we're going to do something to that sugar as per the video we just watched. But what other things are we going to need for glycolysis to occur? Everybody look at the top of this picture. That's showing you the things that go in. The bottom is showing you the things that come out. So besides eating sugar, what else? Put a square around it. What else am I going to need for this step to occur? Paige, what else do I need to put in besides glucose? What did I just highlight? I put glucose in. I circled that, honey. What did I just square? What else is going to go into glycolysis? What'd you just say? So good. She said that 2 ATP that I just put a square around is actually just energy. Now, wait a minute. Didn't we say for our warm-up that you actually are trying to make energy and cellular respiration? Why am I using energy? That doesn't make any sense. Michael, do you have a guess? I have to use those carbons to make pyruvate. You're so right. And that's why I have to eat the sugar. But why am I using energy if I'm trying to make some energy? Well, question. If I want to drive to McDonald's, okay, I sit in my car. I'm sitting there. Is my car just going to go? What do I need to do to get my car to go to McDonald's? I'm sitting in my vehicle. It's nice. Okay, I have like a Lamborghini. Jesse, what do I got to do? I have to put in energy. What do I have to do? What do you mean? I know you don't know how to drive yet. Do you say I got to drive? I have to put it in drive. What do I got to do before that even? I got to turn the car on. I got to put some keys in there, start the ignition, and start the car. And if you don't do that, your car's never going to go anywhere. I can put it in drive, and it's just going to roll. Darling angels, if you don't put a little energy in, we're never going to get energy out. So this is like an investment. You put a little bit of money in, and we're going to make more money later. I promise. Okay, so we put 2 ATP molecules in. Everybody with a different shape. All right, I'm going cloud. I want you to highlight the very last thing here. Something else has to go into this step, NAD+. What? We've never talked about that. But look at the picture. Do you see how it looks like an empty battery? Similar to ADP versus ATP, NAD+, we're going to think of as empty. It's not charged, and we're going to do something to charge it. And we'll talk about that in a second about what that is. But you can see at the bottom of this picture, something different's going to come out. All right, so again, that highlights the 3 things that go into this step. Now, 3 things are going to come out, 3 products. Everybody look at the bottom and in a different color. I don't care what you pick. Let's do the same thing. Look at that mental math that Jordan told us. 3 carbons plus 3 carbons, 3 times 2, is 6. So the word that Celine said, pyruvate, is something we're going to make by splitting sugar. That's what glycolysis means. So we split it. We're going to make 2 pyruvates. That'll help us later in the next step. We're going to make something else with a square. Do this. Hey, guys. I put a little energy in. I put 2 ATPs in. But look at my picture. Shiloh, how many ATPs come out? 4. So did I make a little bit of energy? Hey, math girl. Jordan, what's 4 minus 2? She's good. So I made 2 ATP. I made a little bit. Is 2 a lot? No, that kind of sucks. But I made a little, so at least we're getting somewhere, people. Everybody look at the last thing. Use my same color, different shape. Oh, wow, I really matched glycolysis. Now I have 2 fully charged batteries, but it doesn't say NAD+ anymore. What does it say, Joey, in that little battery? What letters? NADH. And you're going to see in 1 second, what is that? How is that different than NAD+? Okay, so that's literally what glycolysis is. Look at it. Something goes in and something comes out. Now let's go to slide 6. Let's look at it again. Okay. In glycolysis, which means to split sugar, we are going to break apart glucose to make a couple of things to help us start cellular respiration to occur. So everybody look. I need you right above glucose to tell me a number. Okay. How many carbons, and that'd be the little black circles, are in a glucose molecule? We already said this. You can count it right now. Caitlin, how many carbons are in that glucose? You can count them, or remember what we said on the last page. Thank you. Everybody write 6 there. There are 6 carbons in a glucose molecule. Why does that matter? Because I'm showing you that we are literally going to split it apart. So everybody look at the 2 pyruvates or 2 pyruvic acids we're going to make at the end. How many carbons are in that teeny little molecule over there, Maddie? Honey, yes and yes. She just said there are 3 carbons. Do you need a charger for your Chromebook? Yeah. You can borrow mine here. Maddie just said there's 3 carbons in each of those pyruvates. And Jordan, the genius, told us that 3 times 2 is 6. So there's my splitting. Hey, these are the things that you guys told me on the last page. Let's circle them. You told me that we're going to put in a little bit of a little bit of energy to get a couple out. So I'm going to start with 2 empty batteries and make some fully charged ATP molecules. And then this is the thing that Joey mentioned. We're going to start with 2 of those empty batteries called NAD+, and we'll figure out what that is in a second. And we're going to end with 2 fully charged batteries called NADH. Just circle them. If you're confused, I promise we're going to clear it up a little. But here's what I want you to see so far. Glycolysis is splitting sugar. And some things are going to be made in the process. Everybody go to slide 7. If you're thinking, Ms. Culp, I know ATP, we talked about it, I know that's energy. I just don't understand the whole NAD thing that you keep mentioning. What is this that we're making in this step? I want you guys to look at the picture on the left here, okay? NAD+ looks like an empty car, an empty bus. He is not holding anything. But all of a sudden, when these little E's right here, look right here, when those guys show up, they can be carried by the NAD+. What is that E thing? Look at the top. What is that little circle with an E on it? Electrons. Didn't we talk about electrons when we talked about atoms? Electrons are these teeny tiny parts of your atom that are whizzing around, and they are high energy. They get a lot of energy stocked up in them. So when I carry them around and I become NADH, you can see that right here, the H, I am now full of energy, right? I'm a high energy molecule. So everybody on my sticky note where it says, what is NAD+, NADH? We're going to call them, type right here, you can just double click it and you can type on it. We're going to call them electron carriers. okay? NAD plus is an empty bus. There's nobody on it. There's no electrons. There's no high energy molecule. But when he's happy, H for happy, he's got a bus full of people. He's NADH. So just like ADP was my dead battery and ATP was full of energy, NAD plus was an empty bus. Nobody's on it. My poor bus driver is so sad because there's nobody on his bus. But when he's happy, NADH, he's full of electrons and he's going to be full of those high energy molecules. Okay? We're going to call him Ned the bus driver for N, right? NADH. I think of this as a bus driver named Ned. Everybody go to slide 8. Here's my empty bus. Oh, this is Ned without any passengers on his bus. So would I be showing you a picture that would be an analogy for NAD plus or NADH? Which one was my empty bus? Ned is sad. Nobody's happy. Maddie. She's so good. Everybody right now, I want you to underline what Maddie just said. She just said that this is NAD plus. Okay, just underline it because we're going to change it. Ned is unhappy. He doesn't have any passengers, so it's just NAD plus. How could I move these little electrons? Look at my little blue circles, my electrons. How could I move them to make this now NADH? What could I do? What could I do to those little circles to make this NADH? Make Ned happy. What should I do to those? Jordan, honey, put him on the bus. Why don't we make them sit a little comfortably in his seats? You can make them next to each other or not. It doesn't matter. Everybody put him on the bus. You just took Ned, NAD plus, unhappy, sad little bus driver, and you made him NADH. Now, he's so happy. He's got a bus full of kids, okay, or people. Okay, great. Go to slide 9. So if you're like Miss Culp, okay, so I get it. NADH is an electron carrier. It's full of energy. Great. But like, why do we care about that? Because it's one of the products we're going to make in cellular respiration's first step called glycolysis. We're going to make that right now, and we're going to use it later in the rest of cellular respiration. So here's glycolysis again. Can you remind me, please, what are we doing in glycolysis? Look at what goes in. Glucose. What am I going to do to it? What does glycolysis literally mean? Amazing. Everybody right now, she just told me glucose. I'm going to do something to it. Let's write right next to it. Type it, write it. I don't care what you do. We're going to split that glucose. I'm writing the word split because my computer's up, right? We're going to split it. And you guys can see that in this picture. In the process of splitting sugar, I'm going to make 2 ATPs. Remember you told me that I make a little bit of energy, not that much. I'm going to make 2 NADHs, the happy bus driver full of electrons. And then I make 2 of those pyruvates that Celine mentioned, which is really just a 3-carbon molecule. Okay, cool. Go to slide 10. Darling angels, on slide 10, you are looking at glycolysis in another way, okay? Here's what I'm showing you. Glucose goes in, 2 pyruvates come out. We're still in the cytoplasm. We didn't get into the mitochondria yet. And in the process, we're going to make something. Look at my picture. I have something here. I have something here. I'm asking you, how many ATP molecules am I making in this first step called glycolysis? Look at the picture. It's on the picture. How many ATP molecules am I making, Jesse? Only 2. Do you think that's good? Is that a lot? If I gave you $2, Michael, would you be really happy? You would? Oh, that's sweet. How about who would not be happy? Jordan, would you be happy with $2? You can never buy those shoes you like. Okay? She'd be like, thanks, Miss Culp. I don't want this crap. Okay? $2, 2 ATPs is not a lot. I mean, we're going to take what we can get. But everybody right now, let's write what Jesse said. I am only going to make 2 ATPs in this process. That's not great. Okay? That's really not that great. But it's something. It's step 1, guys. If I made a bunch in step 1, why would I do the other steps? I'm only going to make a little bit now so we can set it up for step 2 and step 3. So everybody tell me I'm going to make 2 ATPs. Why did I say net? Do you guys know what I mean if I say you netted a certain amount of money? What if I had a lemonade stand and it cost me $50 to buy all the stuff that I need to make the lemonade, and then I did the whole lemonade stand and then I made $100 that day? How much did I net? Michael, what were you going to say? So I'm going to have to do a little math. You're right. If I spent $50 on all the lemonade stuff and then I made $100, how much did I net? Kennedy? You're a good math girl too. Wow. I only netted $50 because remember I spent $50. So why am I saying the word net? Because earlier, if you guys remember in our picture, we put a little bit of energy in to get a little bit of energy out. So everybody take a look at my second picture here on slide 11. We know that glycolysis is splitting sugar. Jessie told us that. We know we're going to make a little bit of ATP. She said 2. We know we're going to make 2 bus drivers, NADHs, the happy ones that are full of electrons, okay? But where are we? Like, where am I when I do this process? Everybody look at this picture. I have the 3 steps of cellular respiration in this picture. I have, and I'm going to use an arrow, be with me. Could you please point to the first step, glycolysis, the second step, the Krebs cycle, and the third step, ETC, that's what it stands for, electron transport chain. Where are we in step 1? Take a look at my picture. Where are we? What part of the cell am I in? Sam, can you see anything in that picture? When I do step 1 called glycolysis, where am I in the cell? Look at where we have that first step, glycolysis. Where does it say we are? Ooh, great. I'm so glad you brought that up. We're not there yet. You're right. We're right next to it. There it is. There's the mitochondria. But we haven't entered it yet. Where are we, Taylor? We're still in the cytoplasm. Everybody tell me that on that sticky note. Double click it. Ready? Double click it. We're going to say we are still in the, ooh, honey, what did I do? Cytoplasm. This is important. I've seen keystone questions where they ask you, what is the only step of cellular respiration where we're not yet in the mitochondria? And it would be glycolysis. And you might say, Miss Call, no offense, I can't see the mitochondria. I can't see my cytoplasm. I super don't care that we're not in there yet. But this is going to matter. Tomorrow, we're going to make a little bit of alcohol, okay? And the reason that we're making alcohol is because sometimes you don't have enough oxygen to move into the mitochondria to do step 2. And that's why it matters that we're not yet in there yet, okay? Glycolysis happens in the cytoplasm. And then we could go to step 2 in the mitochondria if you have enough oxygen and we're good. Or we could do something else if you don't have enough oxygen. And we'll look at that, like I said, tomorrow. Ideally, we'll make our alcohol and talk about that process. Go to slide 12. Guys, we already saw this picture. We saw it earlier. Now let's dissect it a little more now that we know what it means a little bit better. So 3 things are going to go in. Everybody right now, look at my picture one more time. Tell me something that goes into glycolysis. What goes in as a reactant? What am I using? What am I splitting? What do I need to do? Tell me something, Kennedy. Oh, 6-carbon glucose. Amazing. Everybody right now, in any color you want, circle it. There's my 6-carbon glucose. It goes in. I need it. You eat sugar. What else do I need? Alexia, could you see something else in this picture that has to go into glycolysis? What do I need? You are correct. I need the glucose. Yep, she said that one. Besides glucose, babe, what is something else I need for this reaction? Look at the top, reactants. Look at the bottom, products. So I eat some sugar. What else do I need, Alexia? Honey, I need 2 ATP molecules, 2 energy molecules in a different shape. I don't care what you're going with. Show me that. Remember, you have to start my car. I need a little bit of energy to go in so I can get more energy out later. Okay? Okay, so I eat some sugar. I have a little bit of energy being used, and then I need NAD+. Shoot. Maddie, can you remind me, is NAD+ the empty bus or the full bus? Guys, that's the empty electron carrier. There are no electrons on it. It's an empty bus. Net is sad. Give me a different shape. That's the 3rd thing that goes in. My reactants are red, meaning that's the stuff that goes into this step. I need sugar, I need energy, and I need an empty bus so I can pick up some electrons along the way. And then I'm going to split that glucose. That's glycolysis. And 3 things are going to come out. Look at the bottom. Max, tell me one thing I'm going to make in this process called glycolysis. What's going to come out? I'm so sorry. Could you say it again, baby? A 3-carbon molecule. Very good. Look right here. Do you guys see the 3-carbon molecule? Okay. Can you say that word again, Celine? The one he just mentioned? Honey, that's perfect. Michael, will you get that for me, honey, please? Thank you so much. It seemed like an aggressive knock. Who do we think it is? What do you want? Oh. Thank you. You're so sweet. You guys, thank you. That was really nice. You didn't bring me anything? No. You found them? Why aren't you nice like that? That's my question. Girls, thank you. That was so sweet of you. Thank you. I'll explain it in a second. Okay, amazing. Max told me I'm going to make a 3-carbon molecule because 3 plus 3 is 6, and Sling called it pyruvate. Amazing. Look at my picture. Alte, what else is going to come out as a product besides the pyruvate? What else am I going to make? I'm so sorry. Amazing. 4 energy molecules called ATP. Now, wait a minute. Jessie told me I only net 2 ATP. Is she wrong? No, she's not wrong. Why, if Elte just said I'm going to make 4 energy molecules, am I actually only getting 2? Kennedy? Look at that math, right? 2 goes in, 4 comes out. Ready? 4 minus 2. Jordan? She's pretty and she's smart. Everybody look at my last thing that I'm going to make. Can you remind me, Domhoff? NADH. Is that the full bus of electrons or the empty bus? I'm so sorry. The full bus. Remember, Ned is happy with the H because he has a full bus of electrons on it, aka his passengers. Everybody right now, show me those 3 things in a different color, whatever color you picked. So 3 things go in and 3 things come out. Glycolysis is step 1. If you're confused, I promise we're going to look at it again. But for now, let's think about what we just said. You told me that during glycolysis, I'm going to split apart a 6-carbon glucose into what? What did Max and Celine just say on our last slide? I'm going to split that glucose into. Do you remember the word? You can cheat. Go back. What did they just say? I'm going to split that glucose into. Go back if you want to. That's fine. Jessie. Honey, you were on fire. Everybody write what she just said. 2 pyruvates. And if you're like, Miss Culp, you didn't explain what pyruvate is. Guys, that's what we call the 3-carbon molecule. I'm never going to ask you, what's the formula for pyruvate? What does it do? What is it made of? It is literally a 3-carbon molecule that we're going to use later. That's it. Okay? Arg. What does it kind of sound like to you? That's what I think of every time I see it. A pirate. Okay? And that's what makes me remember that weird word, pyruvate. Also called pyruvic acid if you ever see that. But whatever. I'm never going to ask you what are the 2 names for the same thing. Okay, so go to slide 14. Here's what you just told me. I'm going to take glucose. I'm going to split it. Can you remind me, Kaylin, how many carbons were in this glucose right here that we started with? Do you remember what you said earlier? Honey, there's 6. Everybody write 6 there. And I'm going to do a bunch of stuff to it. I'm going to split it. I'm going to make a couple ATPs. I'm going to make 2 NADHs full of electrons that are full of energy. And I'm going to split it into 2 3-carbon molecules called pyruvate. So everybody down here where you see pyruvate, let's write the number of carbons in each of those. There's 3 in here, and there's 3 in here. And we know 3 plus 3 is 6. So there's the splitting. Go to slide 15. My darling angels, we're going to call this process something. Look at this A word up top. Anaerobic. If I told you I was doing aerobics after school, right? I'm like exercising. What am I definitely going to need to do aerobics? You are so right. I'm going to need energy. If I'm doing water aerobics, you're right. What else am I going to need to exercise? Oxygen. So if I put the word or the prefix "an" before anaerobic, what do you think it means in terms of oxygen? Do I need it? Aerobics, yes I do. If I say anaerobic, do I need oxygen? No, I don't. Everybody right now, let's make a little note right here. We're going to call glycolysis an anaerobic process. What does that mean? It means I don't need oxygen for it. Why does that matter? Because remember when we looked at where we are, we're in the cytoplasm. We're not in the mitochondria yet, and that matters. Hey, cuties, listen to me. Tomorrow we're going to turn this in at the start of class. Just exit. Have a great day.